September 28, 2006 saw the release of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl in Japan, and with it came many new Pokemon. Some of these Pokemon would go on to become some of the most iconic in the entire franchise, and others are Carnivine. Carnivine was dealt a very bad hand, being given terrible stats, a bad move pool, an unexciting typing, a lackluster ability for said typing, and poor availability within the games themselves. Carnivine has so little going for it that there is quite literally nothing it can do better than any other grass type, even the bad ones. Carnivine's most notable achievement was its role in the anime as a member of Team Rocket under the guidance of James. Unfortunately for it, the most it got to do in any given episode was retread the exact same gimmick that all of James's previous grass types did before it: assault him. When this wasn't happening, you can bet that Carnivine was blasting off into the sky with the rest of Team Rocket at the end of most episodes. So, Carnivine has next to no redeemable qualities, sure. But does that matter? Should we be so quick to judge Carnivine simply for existing?
Hi.
This is a creature, an entire species even, and holding it to any sort of man-made standard of viability does a great disservice to this unique specimen. Do we judge a fish for its ability to climb, or a crocodile for flight? Nobody has ever stopped to consider the natural lifestyle of Carnivine before, and that's what I aim to bring to light today. We here at Dynaudodupe Studios spent 9 months out in the field, tracking down and recording this Pokemon in its natural habitat, all to show you the magnificent beauty of the often overlooked Carnivine. Please, enjoy. For those unfamiliar with Carnivine, it's a Pokemon most commonly found in the Sinnoh region, although they have been known to appear in Unova and Kalos as well. Carnivine can photosynthesize like other plants, but it gets most of its energy by feasting on other Pokemon. While carnivorous, Carnivine is not much of an active hunter. Its low speed makes it ill-suited to chase after its prey, instead opting to ambush unsuspecting victims that get within its reach. Carnivine can attract its prey by emitting an alluring aroma from its mouth, the perfect lure for the bug-type Pokemon it prefers to eat. Carnivine can survive off of very little food for a very long time, which allows it to spend most of its days patrolling its territory. Although they are typically quite mild-tempered, they'll still opportunistically feed when the chance arises, and any sort of feeding response can cause Carnivine to go into a dangerous frenzy. He died, by the way. One thing you need to know about Carnivine is that it is a very endangered species, making them very hard to find out in the wild. Typically found living in swamps, this individual was living in a more mountainous area than we were initially prepared for. We believe this is due to the overabundance of the deadly Krogunk infesting local ponds in the area. While these two Pokemon can coexist for a time, once Krogunk reaches maturity and learns Poison Jab, Carnivine has to be extra cautious about its surroundings. If you would like to try your hand at finding Carnivine, one trick that can help you out is knowing their preferred music taste. Obviously, every Carnivine is different from each other, no two are the exact same, but they do have their own society and norms that they try to abide by. And at present, it seems that most Carnivine are big fans of Machine Gun Kelly. We found this post from Swablu Sky made by the then Carnivine president stating this:
MGK got a true banger with Tickets to My Downfall. Oh my god, dude, this shit gotta be the greatest album of the year, I'm telling you. This dude just goes so stupid hard with all this shit, I can barely even keep up with it. I'm running out of breath more times than I can count when I'm singing all the lyrics. That Megan Fox lady's got something special on her hands, let me tell you now.
While on the hunt for Carnivine, you may run into them hanging upside down from the treetops, lying in wait for their prey. However, don't even think for a second about referring to the bottom half of its body as vines. This may seem intuitive to most, given the name Carnivine. However, they are tentacles, not vines, or roots. If you call them vines or roots, Carnivine will become very aggressive, and you may not live long enough to regret your choices. Carnivine's skin, if you can call it that, is very smooth and waxy in texture, giving it homophobic properties. This allows Carnivine to stay completely dry even when submerged underwater. Despite their best efforts, the future of this species' survival is tenuous at best, and there's little sign of this ever changing. Ever since exit cuts have started to affect the world of Pokemon, Carnivine has not been able to reach out into any new regions. And even its original home of the Sinnoh region has become more hostile towards it over time. Back in 2008, a Carnivine could learn Power Whip at level 47. But ever since 2021, Carnivine has to wait until level 50 to learn the exact same Power Whip. While Carnivine has to work more for the same or less than it did before, the Pokemon it coincides with have only gotten better at what they already do. And while you may immediately come to the conclusion that power creep is to blame for this, I personally wouldn't. Blaming power creep would imply that Carnivine ever had a position of power to begin with, when that was simply never the case. The struggle of Carnivine is an unfortunate one, but not an entirely unique one. Many Pokemon have faced the same challenges as Carnivine: bad moves, bad stats, unusual rarity, and the like. With each passing day looking worse for Carnivine than the last, we must learn to appreciate this unique Pokemon before it's gone for good. Remember it for its unique lifestyle, its personality from the anime, and its sick skateboarding skills. Most may find it forgettable, but every Pokemon has the right to exist without the looming threat of doom pressuring it at every corner, whether they're mega popular or not. Thank you for taking the time to learn about Carnivine with me today, and please keep Carnivine in your thoughts moving forward. Thank you.